Hi everyone, good morning. It's Margaret Manning here and welcome to 60 and Me. Welcome to a new day. Hope you're doing great this morning. I have got my cup of puka love tea, one of my favorites as you all know, lavender, rose and chamomile, and it's just a really nice start to the day, so which we all need now and again. So what are you doing first thing in the morning today? How are you starting your new day? I hope you're doing well. I hope that everything is great. And I wanted to talk to you today about something that has been on my mind for a long time. And it's actually one of the key sort of mission statements of 60 and Me. We started off with three things that we knew were on the minds of older women. Number one was health, healthy aging, staying well, taking care of yourself, and making the most of the decades that we have ahead of us. The second thing was independence, which is, just all those things that you want to do when you've retired or semi-retired, and that you've now got a chance to be a bit selfish, to do some travel or to spend time, doing hobbies or crafts, starting a new business, just doing things that for you. So that independence of, discovering who you are in your 60s. So that's the second. And then the third thing is financial security. And of course, we can't really do too much of the other two unless we have that one under control. So money and our relationship with money is something that weaves through our lives. I would think, just from my talking to people in our community, that a lot of you didn't have a lot of money when you were growing up. I think that we all can, I put myself in that category. So I think a lot of us, had a relationship with money that was a little bit closed, and we didn't actually have a lot of people helping us with it. It wasn't something that they taught about in school. It was something that you had to learn through the school of life, and making mistakes along the way. And of course, there were all kinds of things happened in society and in the world that made our relationship with money more challenging, as we got older. And so I think it's complicated. I think that's the most significant thing to say about our relationship with money. And I want to talk today, though, about some tips for finding financial freedom in your 60s. It's a story, an article written by one of our bloggers, Pam Kruger. Now, Pam has experience in this area. She's been in the financial services business all of her career. She started off as a working for commission, basically selling people like us, stocks and bonds and advising us on how to make money for her company. And then she kind of moved away from that and realized that what she really wanted to do was to help people make better decisions about financial security. And she then started as a financial advisor. So she became educating people on ways to spend and save and invest their money. So she's got 5 lessons here that I think are pretty straightforward, and I'll go through them and we can have a chat maybe in the comments section. Just let's share what you've learned on the rocky road of life, and I'm sure it's helpful to others. So first thing that Pam says is to keep it simple. Just if you've got some money, this is assuming that you've got money to invest. Now, it may be that you've got to 60 without having any savings. That's a kind of other issue. But if you've got, even with very little, you want to maybe try to invest some so that it can pay you a little bit more back in the future. So it doesn't have to be complicated. Most retirees, would want investments that are, safe, but also have a little bit of growth. So you don't want to go all completely with bonds, for example, that are very safe. There's some opportunities in businesses that are getting started, in really new innovation, new industries, and if you've got the access to the internet now, you can do the research that you need and find help from people too, like Pam. Now, the other thing is, she says, is just stay the course. Don't freak out if things happen in the world. Things are going to happen that are going to impact your investments, but you just check in once or twice a year. Don't be shifting around all the time. So that's the first thing. The second is to share knowledge with the next generation. Now, this sounds like a bit of a strange piece of advice, but truthfully, being the teacher of anything helps you to, to be stronger in your own lifestyle. And don't forget that kids today are not learning in school anything about saving money. So maybe just help them with creating some good money habits that you didn't, that kind of education and insight that you didn't have when you were little. And that in itself is a really good strategy for controlling your own spending and for helping your own savings. I think that it's, I go through this all the time because I'm a giver. I like to give gifts and I like to share. It's just kind of my nature. And maybe it's back to my relationship with money, because I didn't have a lot when I was young. I want to share. And I haven't got that much now, so I'm still psychologically giving as if I had a full-time job in the corporate world, but I don't have that anymore. So many of you, I'm sure, are in that position. But helping your grandkids to make good decisions, do you really need that? Is it something that you want or need? It's good for you too. Helps you to prioritize yourself. And when you're buying gifts, is it a gift that's going to help in the longer run, or is it frivolous? And have fun with gift giving, of course, but just that process of educating grandchildren and your younger siblings, other family members, is a good thing, and your own children too. Another thing she says, number 3, is take advantage of free information. The world is so open now that you can empower yourself and really take advantage of knowledge about business and savings. And there are lots of little groups too of women starting investment groups, and you can find them online. And it's, I think we're just a lot savvier as boomers. We kind of know where to look. We're prepared to make a course correction, and that's, I think, a good thing. Our financial independence, we may not be ready at 60, but when we've got 30, 40 plus years to live, we've got to get our act together and find out how we're going to survive. And it's pretty simple, really, for most of us. It's that you've got to move your investments into things that are going to make you a little bit of cash, pay off your credit cards so that you don't have that debt, and then just live within your means. It's really simple. I wish it was easier. I wish it was a magic wand, just do this, but it's actually pretty straightforward. Another thing is, number 4, is to look at the way you think about saving money, the way you invest. And Pam says it's really true that men tend to look at the return on their investment. They want, to make money on what they've invested. They're warriors. They're out there fighting for the best return. Whereas women tend to be worriers, and we tend to worry about whether our money is going to last, whether we're going to have enough for the future, whether we can help our kids or our grandchildren. We tend to worry about our money and invest maybe more cautiously. And I think there's a fine line there. I think that we want to understand how investment works, but at the same time we want to be bold and make some money. If we've got a little to invest, to make money for us. So that's important. Are you a worrier or a warrior when it comes to saving and spending money too? And then finally, she says to diversify for financial freedom. And I think this is probably really the best advice when you get older, is that you're no longer paying into a 401k at work, or you're not paying into a pension. You really are now pulling from a finite number of areas: pension, Social Security, some part-time work, an investment money, perhaps maybe your home, maybe you're selling it, or selling property and selling stuff, downsizing. So there's some finite things, but the best thing, that, according to Pam, is to diversify. To really look at all those things and make sure you have a plan. And spread the money between stocks and bonds if you've got investment opportunities, because, as she says, diversification wins all battles. And I think that she's an expert in this field and can definitely give us good advice about what to do. So I hope that that's been helpful. It's not a topic that you want to talk about a lot, and I know some women are really struggling financially, and it's hard. It's hard to even admit and to move on from the fact that you are where you are. You have to kind of own it. You've brought yourself to where you are today, because of the decisions you have made in the past. We've all done it, and now we need to own that and do the best we can. But it's not to give up. It's to still be engaged and to try your best and follow some of these ideas. So have you got any thoughts? I guess I just want to, again say, we're all in this journey together. So if you've got any ideas or thoughts, please share them. And I've got a question for you, which I'd like to ask you, which is simply, do you have a solid investment and savings plan for retirement? Just be interested to know what you've got planned. I mean, perhaps you've thought of something or an angle, or you're working in a certain way, or you're doing something that is helping. Do you have a solid investment and savings plan for your retirement? Just leave your comments in the section below. We'll have a chat and share words of wisdom from the women here at 60andMe. And I look forward to reading your comments and joining in. And just know that I'm just really happy to have this opportunity to speak with you and to share things that are on my mind too. You're helping me as well, so we're all in it together. I look forward to your comments and joining the conversation, and take very good care. Bye-bye for now.